Hello everyone and welcome back to WOR, and we are here in round 2 for Qatar, and we are currently sat P3 in the driver standings after race 1 in Brazil. Of course, taking home the podium paying positions after Freddie got a penalty for the incident that happened on the final lap. So, looking to build upon the success of race 1 and build the foundations even stronger in the championship as we head into race 2, and then of course the subsequent following races of the championship. Here in Q1 we're able to quite easily go through and do a 20.365. Q2 getting straight into it on our final lap here. We're currently P11, so to go through into Q3 we are going to have to improve, and we cannot rely on anyone else's mistakes, and we are going to pick up an absolute monstrous exit here and go a 10.5 up on the delta to 1.6 as we head into the high speed corners here. But are a bit strange, to be honest, as the bottom on this year's game, you can see we lose quarter of a tenth for no reason. So you can be quite lucky or unlucky with the bottom over those curves, but you have to take them because it's less distance, it's faster. You have to take them, but you can just be lucky if the game gives you time or takes away time for you in that situation. So yeah, we lost a quarter of a tenth, what probably would have put us in the top 4 if we did not have that. But again, it's the way that this year's game is on those turns, so nothing really we can do about it. The first run was done on worn tyres, so no real point showing you that. I want to get to the heart of the action, and here in our fresh tyre run here at the end of Q3, and we're going to be looking to hook up a lap here. 50-meter ball just after that, onto the brakes in 5th gear, let the car rotate, back to the power, use up the road, pull the car over the right hand side, down to 5th gear one more time, let the car rotate, a little bit of understeer from that front right tyre, not gripping up, not giving the friction that we was looking for, down into 6th gear, use up all the road on the inside, full commitment, and this has been quite a successful first sector with a 666, but we run a little bit wide, costing myself about half a tenth, maybe a little bit more, as we run through the hairpin, through the right hand and down to 4th gear. Nice exit as well, right on the limit of the track limit lines here in Qatar, as now we're flying through the left hand, a good rotation. Had to hesitate a little bit on the power as the car was unsettled going over the bumps at the apex, but nevertheless a 239 in the middle sector is not heroic, it's not bad, it's just pretty slap bang average, to be honest. So we're going to have to try and pull together a very nice final apex of the lap here after the 15-meter ball, down into 5th gear, let the car rotate one more time on the battery, running up to the line, 7 tenths up compared to the worn tyre run, and we're going to go 9th with a 20.0 mid. And yeah, we could have, if we hooked it up, we could have been 5th, 4th, but it is one of those things. We didn't hook it up. That's my mistake, my fault. The lap was pretty clean, but with the hairpin and some other things here or there, we lost about a tenth of performance. But with that being said, we are 9th on the grid here, so all to play for as we are getting the lights out, and away we go here in Qatar on the hard compound tyres. A lot of people on the hard compound tyres. We're looking to the outside of turn 1, trying to sweep round. There's a red arrow on the inside. You can see Yardo on the medium compound tyres, so just giving him the space just enough that we're not going to make contact and be aware of him. Of course, he is on the faster tyre at the moment, so more than likely he is going to try and come through. If we can delay that would be great, but we're going to go on the attack of Declan, and we sniff a gap, we get on the inside, we just get side by side, we do make contact, a bit of rubbing there, and now we're 3 wide in the hairpin, so we have to go ultra wide to ensure that there is not contact and leave enough space for the cars there. Now side by side with Jarno up near, and he is on the medium compound tyre. And you can see he's going to get the place around the outside on the stickier, faster, fresher, medium compound tyres as we're just getting through the end of Sector 2. You can see I did have some communication with my engineer to ask if I should let Declan back through, because, yeah, the move was pretty rough. I did apologise to him after the race as well, because it was on the limit of the rulebook, that's for sure. We didn't get reported assurance for it. So clearly it was within the rulebook, but yeah, it was definitely pretty rough, so I did apologise to him as well after the race, because yeah, is not my favorite way to go racing, and I definitely wouldn't like it if someone else did that to me. So I did apologize to him, and yeah, like I say, I had some communication with my engineer during the race to see if I should let Declan back through on lap 1, but with the communication with the engineer, we decided to keep the position, and turned out to be the right decision anyway, because there was no student investigation regarding the subject. With that being said though, we're heading on into lap 5, and now you see Tamascal has lost the DRS of the cars ahead, and we're going to be flying past, and he's going to be losing 4 positions in one straight. So that's how critical battery management is on this track, on this game, that if you run out of DRS and you don't have battery deployment to use in your favor, you're ultimately going to be in a very vulnerable position, and you're going to lose out massively down the straight. Lap 7 here, you can see we are ahead of Shanaka Clay, and we had quite good time management during this race, but with even that being said, 1.8 seconds to the cars up ahead, but within 2 laps, we have closed in to the DRS of Isvan Buki and Jarno Otmir, who swap positions, so we are really having a good race pace at the moment. You can see we extended the gap to 7 tenths to Shanaka behind us, so we felt really good with the race pace, the tyre management as well. You can see that front left tyre is still performing quite well, not giving me that much understeer, and that front left tyre is being absolutely destroyed on this track, with so many high-speed corners and so many opportunities to lose grip and to put friction and tyre wear throughout that compound, that it's easy to overstress it, overwear it. But now on lap 12, you can see going on the attack against Isvan Pruki, but not quite able to do anything. Doing the switchback though, just able to draw alongside, but we backed out of that because we were not really far enough alongside to justify in having the space, so it was better to back out of it and not put myself in a vulnerable position. All of the cars who started on the medium compound tyres have now boxed, with Jarno Otmir following into the pit lane on lap 14 of the race, and we decide to go for the undercut. We take the initiative, we start pushing with this strategy call, and now we're going to be the first people onto the medium tyres as we go on into our second phase of the race here, putting in the optimal pit stop. What is yeah, quite easy to do now. You just have to press the button at about half a second left before you go into the pit lane, and then it's okay. I should say the pit stall, not the pit lane, or the box. But as soon as you just do it within half a second, then you just get it optimal every single time. So it's quite repetitive now, to be honest. But critically, you can see we are going to be coming out on lap 16, just outside of the DRS zone of Declan Barrett and Jarno Otmir. 1.8 seconds, 1.7 seconds to Tamascal behind, and now on lap 17 we have closed the gap, and we are going to be going on the attack. That is the race lead up ahead, with Aston Martin at the front of this train. We are up behind Jarno. We did the purple first sector. 2.9 seconds of Tamascal behind us, showing how good our outlap was and how much we was able to extrapolate the performance of the tyre straight away up the inside of Jarno. It's a repeat of lap 1, but on this case in point we have the better tyres on the medium and he's on the hard on this case, so was able to get the move done this time around. And we are going to be behind Declan Barrett, Fabrizio Donoso, Tom Manley and Otis Lawrence, who's effectively leading this race. You can see Fabrizio's battling with Declan Barrett, and we're going to be all over the back of the Aston Martin driver on our medium compound tyres. We fake him to the inside, go around the outside, and now deep on the brakes, and we have got the move done against Fabrizio Donoso all over the back of Declan, using the overtake button, sneaking up the inside, and that is 2 moves in 2 corners, and we are in to effectively P3 in this race on lap 18, with quite a long way to go here today. So a lot of opportunity to do stuff right, a lot of opportunity to do stuff wrong, but of course we've got to try and maximize our opportunities as the race unfolds. Now you can see Otis Lawrence is just up ahead by 7 tenths, and Tom Manley is only 2.5 tenths ahead of us as well. We have got quite a lot of battery, almost full on our deployment, and we are going to have to try and get past Tom on this pit straight, as that will give us the opportunity to start attacking Otis Lawrence and take the provisional race lead here on going into lap 19. 22.9 as we're now in the DRS. Tom is attacking Otis. We're going down the inside of Tom, 3 wide into turn 1, and we are going to be still 3 wide on the exit, leaving the space and going for a long and wide line around turn 2 to ensure that we sweep into the race lead here. And now you can see at the end of lap 19, we was not able to break the DRS behind us. And this is going to be pivotal for the race. It was always going to be a very difficult task to try and break the DRS. And even if we did, more than likely the cars behind were going to start working together anyway to close in one more time. What was really important for us at this phase of the race is actually to go as fast as possible. What you might think to do in this situation is start slowing up and trying to compress the pack together to save battery and save tyres. But I knew that there was other people on fresher mediums behind us, and I wanted to extend the train as much as possible. I wanted to extend the pack so they had less opportunity to be overtaking and make it as optimally as possible for us for the rest of the race to keep it meet against the hard runners.
In fact, I want to keep the train stable so the other medium runners can't pass.
So you actually hear me say that live to my engineers as well during the race, that I want to keep the train stable so the medium runners can't pass. While the train is slightly spread out like this, it gives the hard compound runners the opportunity to use their battery to defend from the fresh medium runners. If they start compressing too much, then the medium runners are going to have more opportunity to pass and get closer to me. You can see now on lap 22, Tom Manley is going on the attack with Otis Lawrence, and we're going to hang it around the outside. Otis now has those hard compound tyres coming back to him as the race starts to unfold on lap 22. You can see we have a very high amount of battery, and now it's time to start working together, because you see I do a little weave, and that basically means, okay, let's work together, let's try to extend the gap. You can see Tom Manley up behind us. We're going to fold back into line behind Otis Lawrence, and we get hit from behind by Tom Manley, and this is all going to be kicking off in this race right now. You can see Tom Manley and Jarno Opmeer going side by side, and Tom actually spins behind us, and now is all kind of melee behind us. We see it all up behind Otis Lawrence. Even I was a bit confused what's happening at this moment. I think Otis was maybe a bit confused as well, seeing the melee behind us just kicking off and unfolding in a dramatic fashion. But yeah, really difficult situation right now. We have Jarno on the freshest hard compound tyres behind us, and as well Otis as well, who's on the same strategy as Jarno, albeit just 2 lap older tyres. So we're on the medium compound tyres, and we have nobody around us on the same strategy, what means those hard compound tyres are going to get better and better and better as the race unfolds. But I still have to keep on pushing on, because I do not want the other medium runners to start catching me, as they will be on multiple lap fresher tyres, and that will not be good for us. We see 3 wide in turn 1, but we're not going to give up the race that easy. We're going to squeeze it around the outside, right up against the white line, dive into the apex, and we are retaining the race lead here on lap 25. And yeah, fantastic racing, honestly, mind-blowing, fantastic. I'm so happy to be watching this back with Otis, Lawrence, Jarno and myself going 3 wide through turn 1. No contact was made. Racing room adequately was left at the exit as well. So yeah, top level stuff, and hopefully this keeps on repeating for the rest of league racing and into F1 esports as well. Lap 26, Otis is playing the strategic card. He doesn't overtake us down the pit straight, and now the end of lap 26, you can see Otis and Jarno within half a second of me behind. So this is going to be really difficult. I need to try and hang on ahead of Jarno. We need to try and be at worst P2 at the end of this straight. So burning our battery, trying to get the position, hold the position against Jarno, but Jarno goes up the inside and he's long past us, and we almost hit the back of Otis in the braking zone. That was oh so close again. But yeah, luckily, unfortunately, able to avoid contact with Otis, but we wasn't quite able to keep P2 in that situation. So both Otis and Jarno have done a fantastic race strategy there to get ahead of us, and now for us to be in a slightly unoptimal position as we're at the end of lap 27. Now you see Thomas Ronhard behind us has now caught up. We've got pretty much a full battery, so we're able to defend adequately and not be too much under threat down the straights compared to my teammate, of course. So that's quite nice as well to be working with your teammate in this situation. The closing laps is a lot more calming, let's say. You're not so stressed because of course you have the communication and you're able to work as a team to try and work forward together. But you can see lap 28, Otis Lawrence does not overtake Jarno Opmeer down into turn 1, and now this is really where it's going to start getting interesting. We need to get P2 off Otis Lawrence. We use the battery, we try to go around the outside, but we back out of that there. You can see it's just not going to work on the older tyres. It's not going to grip, and all it's going to do is risk me getting invalidation and possibly getting overtaken by the cars behind. All over the back of Otis, all over the back of Jarno is Otis as well. So we're really in a flying formation as we're going to be heading onto the final lap of the race here on lap 28, heading into lap 29. Of course, got the final sector to navigate so far, and then we'll be flying onto the final lap. Yep, half a second to Jarno up ahead, and that's going to start closing itself down as we go through the high-speed section here in Sector 3. And now this is going to be all to play for, and this is going to be very, very interesting to see how it plays out down the straight. We've got 80% battery, and now we're going to be all over the back of Otis. It's going to be difficult to overtake Otis on this straight because he's also going to have the DRS, and now we're on the overtake button down the straight. We've got quite a lot. We actually turn it off to save a bit of battery for later in the lap, but we can see Jarno going slowly. We did not expect that to happen, and now around the outside, but the medium tyres just not gripping enough, getting a snap of oversteer and not able to get the momentum around the outside of Jarno. If I knew that Jarno was so low on the battery going down the straight, if he used all the battery, I was not expecting that, to be honest. So I was caught off guard. I can be honest by my mistakes, and although it's a bit annoying to look back because we probably could have had P2 in that situation, because I had a bit more battery to use, I had a bit more momentum to gain. So if I knew that Jarno used all of his battery down the straight, I think it could have been different. But it's all woulda, coulda, shoulda, and all of the, let's say, crying stuff and blah 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 blah. Well, I could have done this, but ultimately that's racing. And if I had hindsight, I would have done something different, but we didn't, so we still have quite a lot of battery right now as we're headed on into Sector 3, so the opportunity is not lost, but very difficult to get up the inside here, as you can see, closing up to the back of Jarno, 1.1 temps now, as we go into the second to last corner of the lap, but we bottom out on the outside curbing, and you can see we just lose a lot of grip on turning, and yeah, that's GG. Although we're closing a lot on the final apex of the race, we're just not able to do anything. The run for the line is not long enough, but yeah,
good race anyway.
Frustrating, to be honest, really frustrating. I would have loved to be P2. I would have loved to be P1 after leading so many laps.
We couldn't have really done much else, but definitely boxing.
Yeah, so
boxing early
it's one of those
was not the right thing,
one of those
but we couldn't have changed it in the situation.
I'm happy to be P3, but I'm also a bit disappointed to be P3 because we really had a fantastic chance of winning. But Otis and Jarno did a fantastic job, to be honest, as well, with their race management, with their strategy, to be putting themselves P1 and P2 with the critical final laps of the race unfolding. So yeah, full kudos, full credit to them because they did a fantastic job, and in some areas I could have done better as well in that situation. But yeah, naturally I'm very hard on myself. I'm very determined to try and get those race wins, especially when the opportunity to take them is there. But that's part of the learning curve, and we're definitely going to be analysing and trying to improve as much as possible ahead of the next load of races as well, to try and target and grow and just build the foundations to be a better driver, to be a better person, as well as we look and seek for our first race win on the F1 24 game cycle. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Next WOR race is going to be a bit difficult because I'm going to be in Germany from Thursday to Sunday, so I'm going to only have about 4 hours to practice for the next race of Abu Dhabi. But with that being said, we're still going to give it everything, and we're going to try and maximize every scenario possible in this championship hunt, in this championship fight. So grazie ragazzi, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao ciao, bye bye.